coming. They're gonna powerbomb like this in a steel casket. AJ Styles, powerbomb the monster.
Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Alternative for North America, NWA Wildside version 2.002. Stephen Prazak, along with Dan the Dragon Wilson. An amazing show last week, Dan, wasn't it?
Certainly was. The match that we had scheduled turned into a different match entirely.
I hate it when that happens.
It was supposed to be Jason Cross, the role model, taking on his arch nemesis, Caprice Ice Coleman. But when all that Adam Jacobs and Sweet Dreams got involved, the Lost Boys had an answer to that question, and it quickly became a six-man tag. Sweet Dreams took the pinfall, with Caprice Ice Coleman getting the pin, and I'm sure that's not going to sit well in the camp of the NWA Elite. Also, we saw Todd Sexton interrupt Jeremy Lopez, the Wildside Junior Heavyweight Champion's amateur wrestling exhibition, and pin him with a little cradle of his own there. Got a pinfall over the Junior Heavyweight Champion. It's a big feat for Todd Sexton. We got some hella action this week on the program. Tell us about it, Steve-O.
Hella action. I never get tired of that one. It's Lazz and Air Paris meeting up for the first time in a Wildside ring this week at Wildside. And that's not even the main event. The main event this week, AJ Styles, the Wildside Heavyweight Champion, grants a rematch to David Young. Those two tore down the house. Ended up in a draw just a couple of weeks ago here on NWA Wildside. Tonight, no time limit. If for some reason we run out of time, we will show you the end of the match later on next week in Wildside. However, it's no time limit. AJ Styles, David Young, this week on Wildside. Stay put.
Along with that ominous blue bag containing the sickle. I believe the sickle is back in the bag.
The sickle has returned. Kevin Harden going to work on Tank early here on this week's edition of NWA Wildside.
Charging Bulldog from Tank. Down goes the ever-improving Kevin Harden.
Tank's had his issues as of late with a 600-pound no-pain train Iceberg.
That's the thing of it, considering all the people that Iceberg has destroyed here at Wildside, I think everybody has issues with the quarter-ton plus.
Neckbreaker suplex and a DDT. Tank's a big man. He's a big bad man. He's a killer.
Oh. A thundering shot to the groin from Tank. Quite an episode of Wildside this week, capping it off with a main event. That's kind of a repeat of what we've seen in this scenario a few weeks ago here. AJ Styles and David Young, two of the modern-day gladiators.
Big clothesline by Tank. Kick to the midsection. There's the Mafia kick. And that is the prelude to the F-bomb. And Tank is calling for it.
And Tank is in an F-bomb mood tonight.
He's got him up for the F-bomb. And this one's gonna be nighty-night F-bomb. Kevin Harden down hard on his head. And Tank is your winner.
Oh, knockout on a piece of livestock.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Tank.
An upset victory over Terry Knight. Bell rings. Like two bulls locking horns. Henry Hawks will win that one every time.
Big Henry Hawks is a big man. 360-plus pounds. Oh, and a gorilla press. Hot shot to Terry Knight. Under the top rope, big clothesline.
Well, he gorilla presses those big bales of hay. He just hit a number on Terry Knight.
Henry Hawks is a very, very powerful guy. Also a very soft-spoken, very friendly guy. Big high back body drop on Terry Knight.
Yeah, friendly unless your name is Terry Knight or Big Business Brown.
Terry Knight attacked Big Henry Hawks with a chair. 2 weeks ago on Wildside in a melee involving Tank and Iceberg. And I don't think Terry Knight realized that Big Henry Hoss would be coming after his receipt, but he certainly is. And that's certainly derailed Terry Knight from any plans he had, because Big Henry Hoss wants his revenge on the veteran.
Speaking of derailing, Terry Knight just derailed Big Henry Hoss, taking out those legs. Because if Big Henry Hoss is laying down back first in the ring like that, there's no way he's going to be able to pull off a pinfall victory on Terry Knight. Take out the legs of Hank Hoss. I think Terry Knight's got there's a big check mark in his column tonight on Wildside.
And that's certainly where Terry Knight's going to excel. He's not a power wrestler, although he can be at times, but traditionally, he is a technical wrestler. He's a mat technician. He can tear guys apart bit by bit, and he's going to do his thing, whether anyone else likes it or not.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you're going to make your way in this business, you need to be someone sort of like Terry Knight. You need to be really adaptable to literally all styles of pro wrestling. We're not talking about Mexican versus Japan. We're talking about whether it's brawling, whether it's technical, whether it's collegiate. It has to be everything, literally everything. And Terry Knight has shown more than a few sparks over the years in all departments. Knight going under the ring apron for a chair. Never get tired of that. He's tying up the knee of Hank Hoss with that chair.
You're going to try to break the big man's leg.
Good Lord! Oh no! Knight with a pair of chairs. This is to crack the kneecap of Big Henry Hoss. Good Lord! Hoss is in dire straits. And Big Business Brown's pretty happy the way things turned around.
Terry Knight mounting the top rope. Swanton bomb on Big Henry Hoss.
Boy. What? Terry Knight can't believe it either. I'm kind of surprised myself that Hank Hoss had it in him. I guess still a lot of air left in that chest. If Henry Hoss has a second wind in him, the thought of Henry Hoss and wind is not a very pleasant thought.
Crowd heckling Big Business Brown as only they can. Big right hand, but Big Hank Hoss, look at it, go.
Remember, Henry Hoss has probably lost some leg power, and there's proof of the pudding right there. But the power of Hoss throwing Knight into that corner turnbuckle. Knight goes flying over the top. Hoss is in bad shape. That was that double chair shot that Knight orchestrated early on in this match. It's fisticuffs. It's Hoss and Terry Knight. Right in front of our stationary camera. They're brawling on the ramp. The count's up to 8. Knight and Henry Hoss are brawling non-stop backstage. Oh, it's a double count out. Couldn't happen to another beat-off professional wrestler than JC Daz. Rave running into the ring, and Mamaluke taking an opportunity to get out of the way of the charging Jimmy Rave. Oh, the crowd getting on Mamaluke's case with the "Where's my pizza" chant, which he hated so much in ECW, pretty much broke up the team of the FBI. The last thing he wants to hear is his pizza gig again. Mamaluke telling Rave the man is going down tonight. We've seen Rave go down an innumerable amount of times, but damn it, he always gets back up.
Tony Mamaluke shoves Jimmy Rave. Jimmy Rave has taken his time off in between the national television tapings. Been on a light road schedule. Actually hasn't been on the road at all. Been at home resting in between television tapings. and the ribs are seemingly healed up, although I don't think they're 100%, probably about 90, but nevertheless, he's back in wrestling shape, and that's a good thing when your opponent is Tony Mamaluke. Mamaluke pinned Jimmy Rave after using a chain in a tag team attraction a couple of weeks ago on NWA Wildside. Rave challenged Mamaluke to this match. They also had a backstage altercation that was never shown on Wildside television. It was very abrupt, and they ended up in a shoving match and a shouting match in the locker room. These two got a lot of heat in between one another, and this should be one hell of a matchup.
Yeah, if there's a lot of heat between two opponents, the best way to settle it is in a professional wrestling ring. And Mamaluke and Rave are two of the very best junior heavyweights in the business, and we got them this week on Wildside.
Mamaluke's drawing the line there. Rave shoots in. A little amateur wrestling here on the mat. Well, Mamaluke is a student of that, of course, along with Jeremy Lopez, graduates of the Malenko Dojo in Tampa, Florida.
Along with his occasional friend, Jeremy Lopez. Problems between those two.
Whatever, it's convenient.
And they're roommates, too. The crowd obviously behind the original XTC, Jimmy Rave. Few folks ever been behind young Tony Mamaluke.
Mamaluke has some kind of complex. Saw an interview that aired on Wildside television, and he's just bitter over the whole deal with professional wrestling in general today. And of course, you know, the World Wrestling Federation being the only major market entity, and he's just got some very hard feelings about losing his job in WCW and ECW, and he expressed those hard feelings on Wildside television in an interview. Man, this guy's got a chip on his shoulder the size of Italy.
He's definitely one salty guy. He feels the entire world of professional wrestling has done him a great disservice. And he's going to take out a lot of those frustrations on athletes such as Jimmy Rave. This week on NWA Wildside. Quite a momentous week. If you got a VCR, better get that baby creased up. Your main event this week, AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, taking on David Young in a rematch of a couple of weeks ago here on Wildside.
Match, of course, no time limit. Big rematch.
And once again, since you don't have one when you have an hour on this show, if for some reason the match is still going on after the hour is up, we will bring you the conclusion of the match the following week here on Wildside.
Big back suplex by Tony Mamaluke, dropping Jimmy Rave right on his gourd. And young Jimmy Rave is in a world of hurt. Big thumbs down there by Tony Mamaluke. Looked like he was going, oh, look at this. Reverse double underhook. In a Nagi-Sateri position, drops him into a facebuster.
A show of strength from Mamaluke. He's something he even got a chance to show even in his ECW days. He pulled that baby off here with Jimmy Rave. Still not enough to get that elusive 3 count from referee Speedy Nelson.
And I tell you, Jimmy Rave, he's like everybody's kid brother here in Wildside. He's just very likable. Everybody wants Jimmy Rave to succeed. And it's almost when you pick on Jimmy Rave, you pick on the entire Wildside locker room. As relates to JC Daz, and well, JC Daz now serving time in a correctional facility. Oh, it's a Jimmy by Jimmy Rave, he connects. JC Daz serving time in a correctional facility for running Jimmy Rave over in a car. Full Nelson, full Nelson into a facebuster, beautiful maneuver by Jimmy Rave.
I wonder how Daz looks in stripes.
Jimmy Rave hooks it, went for the gravity killer, he slipped. On the right suplex by Tony Mamaluke.
That's the price to pay when your vision is somewhat obscured through that maneuver. You don't quite know where your legs are, and sometimes you pay the price. Mamaluke clutching the back of his neck. Oh, what on earth?
I know what Kid Ecstasy's been doing ever since he lost the Loser Leaves Town match.
Kid Ecstasy, he's delivering pizza. And he's delivering pizza in a match with Tony Mamaluke. Oh, Kid Ecstasy. Look, I know, Mamaluke, you don't want to do this, Ecstasy. You don't want to do this. Oh, God. This is not go. Mamaluke going to town on Kid Ecstasy. And that pizza. Mamaluke's going crazy on everybody. Mamaluke is going ballistic, damn near ballistic, here on the floor of the NCW arena.
This weirdo is snapped.
But I saw this coming. That pizza chant drove him crazy anyway. Now somebody actually showing up delivering a pizza, that's just too much for Mamaluke to take. Oh, God. Mamaluke is just going to town on Kid Ecstasy. Jimmy Ray, we're taking it, the Wildside security trying to take that Mamaluke. Mamaluke is damn near frothing at the mouth.
He's going nuts.
Take that guy out of here.
This guy has snapped.
Man, we saw that coming. It's an end result of the match, obviously a double count out. But it looks like the pizza delivery career of Kid Ecstasy took a quick turn south here.
Ladies and gentlemen, our official decision of this contest, a double count out. From Kentwood, Louisiana, weighing in at 205 pounds, Lazz.
No booty shaking this week. It's Lazz and Air Paris, face to face. Ooh, and a slap from Paris.
I've never seen Lazz with this kind of determination. No dancing, no fun and games. He's just going to town on Air Paris.
And he's Jeff Bailey's pulling the pigtails of Lazz. A dangerous, dangerous move. Oh, big fist in the face of Air Paris. What Lazz is going to town. This is an entirely different Lazz than we've ever seen.
I can't think of any time Lazz has looked this determined.
It's truly a new Lazz. Oh, and I think we have a new Air Paris. And it's much worse than the old one.
A slightly less masculine version.
Can you actually get less masculine than Air Paris? That I might ask. Air Paris is headed over the security railing. And I think that's where Lazz wants him. Lazz goes flying with a senton on top of Air Paris. That's in the second row of seats.
Unbelievable.
Air Paris is probably not feeling in his best form right now. Paris trying to wear Lazz down by taking out the oxygen supply heading towards the Lazz's brain. Anatomy 101 with Stephen Prazak.
Air Paris taking his time here, being calculating, methodical. He's learned to slow down. And when he slows down his offense, that's certainly to his advantage when he can slow down his opponent. But Lazz trying to put a hair grab, throwing Paris down. Look at Lazz on the comeback trail, and down goes Paris.
In all honesty, many of Lazz's big victories here at Wildside have come out of a bolt out of the blue and very early on in the match. Oh, and Bailey shaking the ring ropes, knocking Lazz off his perch.
And he doesn't know what happened. Convenience. Air Paris has Lazz locked. Big superplex.
But once again, I mean, all that offensive maneuvering from Air Paris takes a lot out of Paris as well. And Paris is in no shape to cover Lazz for the pin. I think he may have gotten it.
Crowd behind Lazz here.
Paris finally coming to quickly. Some choice words from Paris to Lazz that I don't think they bear repeating here.
Choice words indeed. Lazz catches him with a neck breaker coming out.
And interestingly, Paris didn't look like it was any position. So it seemed like it was definitely good thinking on his feet from Lazz to be able to pull that baby off. But Paris has dished out so much punishment to the irrepressible and colorful Lazz that once again, Lazz just can't zoom in to get that elusive pin on Bailey's henchman, Air Paris.
Poke to the eye by Paris. He ducks Lazz's punch. He ducks another.
connecting on those. Lazz is digging down deep and finding a fair-sized fight against Air Paris. Oh, and a foot to the face.
Lazz caught him. He could be going for the headshot.
Success. Headshot number one. Lazz likes him in pairs. And two heads are better than one. Despite some opposition from Jeff Bailey at ringside, Lazz went ahead with a headshot numero dos. And Air Paris is wobbly at best.
Lazz is going for the Britney Spears, but Paris moves out of the way. Lazz hits nothing but turnbuckle. Arm drag takeover. We're an arm breaker there by Paris.
Air Paris trying for a submission victory by tying up the left arm of Lazz. Lazz is struggling to get to his feet. Only a few inches away from that second ring rope. Look at Bailey. He's pulling the rope away as far as possible. Doesn't he have like a case load or something to address in the meantime? Why is he always here?
Lazz fighting back now. Lazz counters there. Then locked in a cross-face submission. Oh, actually, that's a Fujiwara armbar. Come really tell from my vantage point here.
And Air Paris is right in the middle of that ring. If Lazz is able to keep that pressure on, you could very well might get a submission out of Paris. Paris is not known for submitting, but there's always the first time. Paris able to get a leg on that bottom rope. Little assistance from CEO Bailey. Some strong offense from Lazz in a very atypical Lazz match.
In the midsection, President faced by Lazz. Lazz is fighting hard here. Paris is calling for the super kick. The sweet chin music to go-to maneuver. Lazz ducks it, kick to the midsection by Lazz. High back body drop by Air Paris.
That did the trick. Looks like Paris is once again threatening for a super kick. Oh, that top. Oh! He certainly did. Lazz goes crumpling down in a heap. Lazz under that bottom rope. Paris in the middle of the ring. This might be the longest Lazz match we've ever seen.
Lazz is holding his own in here with a strategist like Paris. Very impressive showing by Lazz.
Paris sends Jeff Bailey out to go get something. Terrific. Jeff Bailey tossing a chair to Air Paris. If the wrestling ain't going to work, hell. A steel chair will, oh, and a knee to that chair and into the face of Air Paris. Not quite what Bailey had in mind, it sure isn't what Paris had in mind.
Lazz making a cover. Bailey puts the foot on the rope.
As usual, the odds are against Lazz. He's so used to it, I think it's probably the way he prefers it at this stage in the game.
Lazz is going for the Britney Spears here. He's got him set up.
In comes Adam Jacobs and that bodyguard. The bodyguard pulls the legs out of Lazz. I believe it's called, it should be disqualification. Oh, Andrew Thomas, look at this. The bodyguard is taking Lazz seemingly out of the building.
Security, help him out. Get him out of here. He's within 50 feet of Adam Jacobs, and he's going to go to jail. Get him the hell out of here. Get on him, security. Get him the hell out of my building.
I mean,
you go with him
he's
to make
right,
sure he gets him out of here. Get the hell out of my building, you freak.
and Paris wins via countout. But it's Jacobs who went into the ring.
The winner of the match as a result of that countout, Paris.
Don't know what they've lost, and they did not sign up AJ Styles full time. But we got him at Wildside. He is the Wildside heavyweight champion.
Fans in the front row chanting Super 8 champ. He's going to be going up to Wilmington, Delaware to compete in the annual Super 8 tournament for Jim Kettner's ECWA promotion.
Boy, their jaws are going to drop up there when they see it. Uh-oh, coming down the ramp is former Wildside champ, Rick Michaels. Someone who has issues with both of the competitors in the ring, both Styles as well as his former tag team partner, David Young. And I don't think either one is aware that Michaels has made an appearance.
Rick Michaels is here, conspicuous by his absence the last couple of weeks here in Wildside. He lost the Wildside Heavyweight Championship to AJ Styles with an assist from David Young, Christmas Chaos 2001.
The bell has rung. Once again, there is no time limit in this match. If for some reason TV time expires, we will see the completion of this match in the following week of Wildside.
Looks like we've got a guest.
Prazak, hit the bricks, boy, your job's over with.
The Wildside Heavyweight Champion, Rick Michaels, joining us in our commentary.
You see, I'm out here for one reason, and one reason only. I am the rightful #1 contender for the heavyweight title, and I'm going to make sure that whoever wins this match knows that I am the #1 contender.
Well, that is certainly a valid point, Mr. Michaels. You were the former champion, and as a traditional rule in the history of professional wrestling, the former champion always gets his grain in a rematch. So technically, you are the #1 contender. Big speed wheel kick there by AJ Styles. Lateral press by Styles, only got a 2. Your former tag team partner, David Young, here in the ring as well. Any comments as to what he did to you at Christmas Chaos 2001? Big bear hug in the middle of the ring. Overhead on the belly, no, northern light to the bridge.
Why you asked me a question and cut me off?
There's a wrestling match going on, sir. That's what I get paid to do.
Who cares? I'm out here. You need to talk to me. Let me tell you something. David Young is a backstabbing turncoat, and he's a lowlife, and he's jealous. He's jealous of me. We were the tag team champions of the world 4 times because of me. I won them back every single time that he lost them. That's why we were 4-time world tag team champions. And then he was so jealous that he couldn't become the heavyweight champion and never got a shot that he turned his back on me and cost me my belt.
Well, be that as it may, he's now got his shot here against AJ Styles. I know much to your chagrin.
Yeah, it's real funny. It's real funny that, you know, #1 contender, former champion always gets his rematch, and I still haven't got my rematch yet. Yet, if I'm not mistaken, this is the second one that David's got.
Wrestling fans, we are back. You are watching the #1 professional wrestling alternative. I'm Dan the Dragon Wilson, along with special guest commentator here for this main event, the original chosen one, Rick Michaels. AJ Styles, David Young, Wildside Heavyweight called it on the line. They've called this matchup Gladiators of the Modern Era, and I couldn't agree more. Spinning head scissors, no. Styles lands on his feet, going up to the shoulders of Young. He was trying for a victory roll, but Young held on. Well, he got him in Nagasatera position. Styles tried to counter with a bulldog, but Young countered back with a powerbomb.
They're both down. You know what I should do? I should run in this beat. Yeah, I can say that. I'm a former champion. I can say whatever I want to. You gonna stop me, Dan the Dragon?
I certainly am not.
You know, I have every right in the world to be upset. I have every single right to be upset because I should be in there wrestling AJ Styles for my heavyweight title.
Well, I certainly agree with you, Mr. Michaels. You were the former champion. You certainly deserve your rematch. You definitely deserve your rematch. But right now in the ring, David Young. Right back, buddy, on AJ Styles, and he crashes and crashes hard to the mat.
You know, it's real funny that David Young's getting all the shots now, and he and AJ Styles there buddied up and traveling back and forth to Tampa a lot together. And so I think it's a little bit of AJ Styles and David Young kissy-kissy in there with their old buddy Bill Behrens. So therefore, David gets all the shots, while Rick Michaels gets left to do nothing. Nothing.
Again, Mr. Michaels, I can't say as I disagree with you, being the former champion. You're certainly one of the top competitors in the history of NWA Wildside. But with that being said, you have a match at hand here. Right now, AJ Styles trying to power out of his head scissors. It's a death grip with David Young's massive legs clenched around his throat, choking the very life out of him. Styles goes hard into the turnbuckle. This is a wrestling match, fans, an athletic competition. It's not a cartoon. It's not a freak show. It's not a soap opera. It's NWA Wildside. We're bringing to you best moonsault off the chest by AJ Styles. Taking a clothesline. He nails Young on the top of the head, trading blows. Our Styles and Young. Young catches him, hooking the arm, and sending Styles into the turnbuckle with a blast. Now quickly going to work on the knee.
You know, I'm not going to take anything away from these two guys. It is a competitive match. But I'm not worried about it being a competitive match. And you know why, Dan the Dragon, why I'm not worried about it, because it should be my match. You know, that's just like David. David was always the spotlight hog. The whole time we were tag team champions, the whole time we were partners, he always had to be in the spotlight. He always had to be out there, just like he's doing now. He knows if he was a real man, he would step back and let me have my shot.
Styles suplex David Young into the turnbuckle. I don't believe it. Young is down on the floor. Styles is in the ring. In front of this packed house in the NCW arena. David Young brought down to counter the shooting star. Top-page suicida through the ropes by AJ Styles.
You know, I'm sick of listening to you. I really am. So what you need to do is you need to get on your little phone, call Prazak back up here, let him do what his job's supposed to be. I'm just going to stand over here and just kind of eyeball this match.
Since I'm well aware of the fact that you can kick my ass, I'm not disagreeing.
Michaels maneuvering his way out of the broadcast position in order to, if I overheard him right, eyeball the match.
Always a treat.
I don't believe either Styles or Young are aware of Rick Michaels' continued presence here in the NCW arena.
His presence has certainly cast a shadow on this matchup, and an ominous one at that. Reversal. Styles hangs onto the ropes. Goes to the outside.
Styles wants a breather, and that's definitely his priority. Remember, Styles has a lot to lose here. He is the Wildside heavyweight champion.
And Young has seemingly had his number. He left AJ Styles laying in the middle of the ring with a spine buster right as time elapsed in their last matchup. Styles has had his hands full with Young, but he is a deserving Wildside heavyweight champion. Both men collide. Oh my goodness, what a collision in the center of the ring.
Like two charging rams. Two of the finest athletes in the Wildside. Well, unfortunately, Rick Michaels, the original chosen one, is ambling his way towards AJ Styles. Oh, and a swift kick to the stomach.
There's the double shot on the floor. The double shot on the floor on AJ Styles. I knew Michaels wasn't out here just to watch the match. I knew Michaels had an ulterior motive. And now he rolls Styles into the ring.
Some eyeballing. Michaels getting involved firsthand here, out of the gaze of referee Andrew Thomas, who didn't see it like he'd do anything about it. But David Young did not see that either. He was clear on the other side of the ring. Beautiful moonsault. Young has been the champion. We have a new Wildside heavyweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and new Wildside heavyweight champion, David Young.
It took Rick Michaels getting involved. Young didn't see that. This is a momentous night for David Young. You can't believe it. I'm in the members of his family here tonight. As a matter of fact, Bill Barron's NWA Vice President, bringing David Young's young son, Chris. All this, actually, it's quite a nice little moment, but I don't know if young little Chris saw what the former champion, Rick Michaels, did to AJ Styles, just out of the sight of both AJ Styles as well as Andrew Thomas. David Young, if I'm reading this right, just heard from his son, young Chris. Look where Michaels got. Attaboy! Look, Chris Young. It's Young and Michaels.
Speedy pistol by David Young. He put his hands on the man's son, and he paid dearly.
The last time you put your hands on David Young's son, young little Chris, 6 years old and full of fire and fight, and he loves his daddy dearly.